Dollhouse, episode 4 of season 2, episode 23 of the series overall, finally came out today, and it was a very, very solid episode for the most part. I think this episode was really good. Excuse me, I have some allergies going on, so this is making me my throat real scratchy and want to cough. So, excuse me. So, in this episode, Ida's mother comes to town and claims that she has a cure for Ida, which we see a flashback of Ida just finding the door, and apparently she just found the door. Doesn't really know where it came from, who had it, but basically Ida has been running from her mother ever since she was a child, and her mother apparently keeps coming back to say she's found a curse, she's been trying to cure her daughter, see that she's suffering. Well, this time she thinks she's got it. And so Luce, trying to help, being Luce, tries to repair the relationship between Ida and their mother and tries to help her find a cure, especially since she offers up this this idea that maybe she might be able to help her find a way home. Which at the beginning of the episode she was struggling to find. So, of course, Luce accepts. It does not work. We also get a little hint into Lilith's relationship with her mother. She's apparently been more focused on Ida, which that makes sense because Ida feels like the way you would treat like a disabled family member. Like a parent is going to be more focused on helping them, and that could lead to them neglecting you. And that's not necessarily them trying to be cruel or mean. It just means that, you know, they have other priorities to worry about. Not to say that you are not one of them, but it just makes it harder. And that's kind of what she's dealing with here. She's trying to fix this curse. She's trying to help her daughter who is suffering from this. And so it makes it hard for her to focus on her other daughter. I just didn't like that they played a lot of it for comedy because it isn't very much a comedic thing. It's like more of a sad thing, but, you know, whatever. And so in this episode, we see these two characters' relationships with their mothers, and of course the curse cure turns out to be a fake and not work well, and his mother is able to repair the relationship between them, and Ida plans to be more understanding with her mother and stop, like, you know, being on the run from her. And that's a great thing, and she's happy, and all of our characters kind of do that. And I think what was really interesting, Lilith and her mother try to go repair their relationship, and she leaves the outhouse, which I didn't think was going to happen, but that's kind of an interesting plot point, and I think that's cool. I like that a lot. I think that's cool that she's gonna do that. You know, we may see this character less, which I really like, but I think it's cool that plot development happened. But basically, what Ida's mother tells Luce is that basically there was a human. Nobody knows what happened to them here, but sometimes rifts in their world open up. And if you can find out where this human is, there's a hint of it in the library. You will be able to find out where you can possibly find a way back to the human realm. And then we get a shot of Luce's mother, who's watching something on the television, and apparently there's some kind of fake Luce that's there with her mother, which I find that means two things. That means this episode takes place after summer camp, so that means Luce has been there for a very long time in the demon realm. She has not just been in there for the summer. Like, this show isn't taking place over the summer, right? Because why would Luce be back home? Why would that happen? And that is a very interesting plot point. Also, that there's a decoy in Luce's place, and it's all sorts of disturbing, especially the way they don't show her face. But yeah, I think this is really gonna lead to some interesting scenarios. I don't know what's gonna go on with this, but the way they keep slowly touching upon it. Personally, if you want my opinion about this plot point, and here's my little theory. I think it's Bellows who put this loose decoy there. I think Bellows, but the one we saw at the end of season 1, was a decoy. How he was able to kind of squish and maneuver around, and was able to avoid any attacks, and was so confident in that episode. I think he wanted Luce to destroy the door for some reason, because she wasn't going to give it up willingly. He knew that somehow, and he was going to repair it and fix it and get his way in there. And so in the meantime, he's trying to keep Luce here because he understands that if Luce is here, he can use her for whatever his nefarious deed is. Now, I'm not exactly sure what that is, but I think that he wants Luce to start a rebellion for some reason. Maybe for war profiteering or something. I don't know. There's so many directions this could go, yet there are so many unpredictable directions. But I think this is a really solid episode. It's probably my second favorite of the season. I really enjoyed the one with Amity's parents a lot. And last week's episode is one of the greatest in the show's history. Definitely my favorite episode.